What is up, YouTube? It's your boy, the Truth Terrorist 2, and I'm here to do this the last video series that I'm gonna do for a minute. I might do one more video before the weekend, but I'm gonna lay back off these videos because this is gonna be a 3 to 5 part series. And this is what I have to say first. Quite a while ago, I listened to a preacher over at Destin Ministries. I don't listen to many preachers, but I think that brother's a real good preacher. He's a preacher from out of Texas, and he talked about an emotional curse that he believed was on black people that we got from Babylon. We claim we always claim that we are the original this and the original that. But we the original Babylonians too. There's been pictures and images of black Babylonian kings and queens and etc. And they engaged in rituals that dealt with amping up of the emotions and bringing down of spirits and whatnot. And I think that black people deal with everything in an emotional way. And I say all that to say this video series is not for people at all who are totally emotional and who act and think 100% out of their emotions. There's going to be a bunch of stuff that I'm going to say that you're not going to like. But I will say that at the end of it all, at the end of part 3 or 4, there is a silver lining in the cloud, but I will say that the ending of this video series is probably going to be very sinister, because I don't think that black people out dark-skinned pitch black people. I don't think they can get out of the situation that they're in. I think that I'm a dark-skinned person. I think that most of us are just about cursed. But it's not cursed through a total spell. It's just evolution in the world and how people see us. I'm over it. I'm beyond it. I'm past it. I'm in a spiritual state of mind where I'm developing more of my conscious mind, to where things of the world, such as how a person looks at me, any person is lying if they say that the way that people look at them in a negative way doesn't affect them in some way. It affects you, but it doesn't affect me in a way to where I'm going to crybaby whine about something that I can't change. Things in life that you cannot change, when you learn to ignore them and put them past you, I'm straight up telling you, you make massive jumps in your internal spiritual revolution or evolution in life. But anyways, let's get into the history and the sociology, psychology of pitch black skinned people and why the world tends to view them in a negative light. If you look at a dark skinned person from a distance, and I'm going to include life experience in this. There was a Hispanic girl who spoke very little English who told me something about black men with dreadlocks specifically. She said black men with dreadlocks look good up close. She said they look good. She said some of them look very handsome up close. It was a South American girl who was talking about some Caribbean guys that she was into. But she said from a distance initially that they scare her. And here's why. From a distance, the facial symmetry of a dark-skinned person can't be seen for the most part. The most visible thing will be probably their eyes, but their facial symmetry can't be recognized. Many people who do art, facial art and makeup, they'll tell you this, that from a distance, if you step a distance of about 15 to 20 feet away from a pitch dark-skinned person, or in many cases, if that person is very dark-skinned, pitch black, about 10 feet away, you can't see that person's facial symmetry. You can't see their cheekbones that well. You can't see the specific design of their face. You just see darkness. That if a dark-skinned person looks good, it tends to be that they look good up close when you can see them at a closer range or whatever. And if you look at how human beings physically look at things that are black and anything that is specifically red, or a combination of red and green or red and black, but most notoriously in the human mind and perception of things, that which is black is generally looked at as untrustworthy or potentially threatening, and part of human psychology. Keep in mind, throughout most of our human existence, we've lived lives as hunter-gatherers. in small bands and groups, and occasionally from time to time we formed large cities. But for the most part, we were hunter-gatherers, especially people of African American descent, or people of African descent. So from a distance, that which is dark can't be trusted, or is looked at as not trusted, or a potential threat, until it shows itself unthreatening. Human evolution would have it that people look at that which is black, pitch black, as threatening until it shows, and it's key to remember, until it shows itself to be unthreatening. Now, you have to, from that aspect of things, turn around and look at the dark skin or the pitch black skin person. If your facial symmetry isn't seen and people can't exactly see your beauty, it's like the volume is turned down on your beauty. And if your facial symmetry can't be seen, people won't trust you, and people generally tend to have a hostile view of you. It's not so much that they look at you as hostile, but their perception of what you're feeling is that they feel that you are hostile or angry. And I'm going to talk about that in part 2, but I want to talk about reaction or psychological reaction of dark-skinned people to how the world looks at them. Keep in mind what I said about that which is dark skin or pitch black by human psyche is looked at as non-trusting, or I can't trust it until I know it's friendly. And if it's not friendly, I need to be on guard. This has a psychological reaction in the pitch black skinned person's mind. What do? Cooning and buck dancing are literally a part of black DNA, of black psychological DNA. In an old book I read about goddesses of the ancient world, I read about Queen Sheba. And when she met many of the Middle Eastern and Mediterranean men that she met on her grand tour out of Ethiopia into the Middle East, she escorted along black men as minstrels. And this is often to display them or us as not threatening. And this is how many dark-skinned people who lack confidence and who lack esteem and who lack a certain pride and inner prestigious way that they look at themselves, this is how they act toward other people. And it's so deeply embedded in most dark-skinned people, pitch black-skinned people's psyche, that they don't even recognize themselves doing it at times. They're very accommodating, and they smile very, very hard. They smile and they show their teeth. And this is to contrast their physical appearance to other people and how they're looked at by other people. They put on a big smile. It's to display that they're not hostile. It's also to display that they're not angry. And, the whole angry part is what I'm going to talk about in part 2 of this video series. Like I said, this is going to be a 3 or 4 part video series. Feel free to comment back and forth, share some things, some experiences, or whatever. But this is the history, psychology, sociology of pitch dark-skinned people. Often having a very, very, very accommodating mentality type. I would say that the slightly lighter skinned appearance of African Americans and the closeness to white people, often makes black people kind of stand up against what they feel like is discrimination a little bit more. Whereas black people who are more richly and deeply dark-skinned, who come from other countries, they, number one, they do tend to be successful because white folk ain't about to let no po Negroes come to this country, but they also have a very, very pitch black skin, accommodating mentality toward white people. Booker T. Washington was like this, and he espoused accommodating white folk. But we're going to get into the perception of anger in part 2. Check out part 2. Part 1 is over.